Romeo and Juliet found each other. Season 2 is even better than Season 1 if you thought Season 1 was crazy. Let's take a look at this. Because it's crazy. I like it. Not happy about a few things. Let me show you. Oh, okay. So this is Season 2. All 10 episodes. Spoiler review. It starts off with Candace, who shows up again. Like, she shows up the end of the first season, and Joe runs off. Joe runs off to LA. Here's the hot landlord. He rents a room from her. She has a daughter who's like trying to get into Hollywood. A lot of people are. That's what they're doing there. That's why you go there. You're all into yourself and you're trying to get other people to follow you. This is the part where Love meets Joe for the first time. Joe has an alias, Will. And this is the part where Love starts to fall in love with Joe, with Will. And she doesn't know it yet that he already knows who she is because he's been spying on her. There's Love's brother in the white, and then the black guy works for them. They have a lot of money, their family. There's the landlord's daughter. Love takes Joe out on a date to really get to know Los Angeles, and Love has a really interesting backstory where she was with a man and then he died and it was terrible, and she felt really devastated, and she felt a connection with Joe because Joe had that same kind of sadness inside his eyes, and so she felt like he could relate to her, could understand. So Love does a lot of things for the community. She volunteers and she likes to bake cakes and goodies. And the chemistry, the romance, the back and forth, the tension between Love and Joe is very tempting. It's very endearing. It's very lovable. It's very captivating. Something that I want. Something that I'm interested in. Like, it's really Romeo and Juliet in a sense. Here is Penguin from Gotham on Fox. He's here because this is the real Will, and he was gonna try to help Joe try to get a secret identity, but Joe was like, I need to be Will, and so he knocked him over the head and stuck him in a storage unit. He built a little what do you call it, soundproof cage. It's soundproof, and it's in this storage unit, and he's captured Will, and it's a little bit unfortunate that he did it, but at the moment Joe was like, I had to do this. Later on, he lets Will go so that he could be with his lover, a Filipino girl. Joe has a telescope so he can spy on Love. Episode 2 deals with the backstory a little bit. Joe meeting Will and then capturing Will. I'm not gonna say this guy looks like somebody I know. I was helping this guy cut down a bunch of trees. So this guy, he's like a mafia dude, like the Godfather. I'm gonna make an offer that I can't refuse, and he just sliced off Joe's finger and said, "You want a bag? You gotta give me the money." I thought it was kind of funny. The mafia guy had a big smile on his face, and he's like, "Oh, no problem." And then boom, slices off his finger. Ooh, devastating. So he goes to Will. Joe goes to Will, tries to get the money. He doesn't have the money, like thousands of dollars. There's Love and her friend. There's the hot landlord lady running into Joe. And she was like, you know, there's something wrong with you, Joe. I have this like radar because of stuff that happened to me. And her daughter actually is her sister. What am I thinking? Her sister is like called her a whore, but maybe she is, maybe she isn't. But she didn't like Joe at first, but then later on they hooked up. But this is the part where he connects with a celebrity dude who connects him with a good surgeon who could reattach his finger. There's her mummy face. No, that's not Keanu Reeves, but he's the celebrity dude who's been doing stuff with minors, getting photos and stuff, doing stuff with it. And he's like a bad guy kind of person, and then he's like he later on he's with her sister, the landlord's sister, and he's like gonna do her or something. And Joe's there, and Joe ends up killing him. Oh no, Beck, is that you? No, it's your finger. You're losing a lot of blood. You're seeing things. Beck is dead. Oh no, Joe's taking undies from Love because he has a thing for that. He's putting the stuff in the box. It's kind of like his trophies. Like Dexter Morgan had a little filing cabinet thing, a little small thing he put inside the what do you call it, the air conditioner. It was in the ceiling in the first season. His stuff that he had. Now he has it in a hole in the wall. They're gonna get married. This is episode 3. So he's playing penguin. I mean, playing hangman with the penguin. What am I saying? Oh man. He eventually lets. Yeah, like I said, he lets the penguin go. He lets Will go. Eventually, but it was a little bit difficult. But it's like he decided he wanted to be the good guy. So he gotta let him go. Hey girl, you're causing problems. I'm your hot mother. I mean, your hot older sister. You gotta do what I say, 'cause I know better. Joe is forced to work with Love's brother. This is Love's brother, and Joe's trying to this guy. He's always trying to like make it in Hollywood with a good script, and then many times it doesn't work, and then he's like addicted to drugs, and he's always like with another woman, trying to impress his father. Oh no, 50 Shades of Joe and Love. This is the place, this is the time, this is where they make out. Episode 4, here are Love's friends. Love's brother knows that they're making out, that they're together, that they're an item. And he's not happy that Love didn't tell him. The landlord girl is getting it on with the cop. She got the photos because Joe left it at her apartment anonymously. Like she didn't know it was Joe who got the pictures of that celebrity guy who was like taking pictures of the little girls, the minors, and including her, because it happened to her too a long time ago when she was younger. And so now she's trying to show it to the cop. Cop's not able to do anything about it. Here's Joe as a little boy, and this must be his father, and he ends up killing his father, but he didn't really know it. Like, he kind of forgot about it. It was repressed, like a buried memory, and his mother said it was okay, sort of, that he had to do it, and then I guess he was adopted or taken into a foster home or something after that, and he was not able to see his mom. Here's Joe and the hot landlord. Oh, here's the part where Joe kills the celebrity guy, and he wasn't trying to. He had a mask on, and he was gonna like try to get this celebrity guy to confess to his crimes, and then he tried to run away, and then there was a little bit of a fight, and then he ended up killing the celebrity dude. The penguin is free. Episode 5. They have to go away on this weekend to do this thing with their parents, Love's parents, where they renew their vows. They pretend to get married again, kind of thing every year, and Love's brother is with Candace. So I guess Candace wasn't really dead in the first place. I wasn't sure before this. You're thinking, especially in season 1, did Candace really die? Is Candace just a memory in Joe's mind? Because he also sees Beck in the same way, and so it could be just a memory. But it turns out that she's still alive, and now she's with this guy. There's Love's father, and he's not happy with his son. They don't have a good relationship, and there's a backstory where they thought that he killed somebody when they were younger. When he was young, they had to cover it up, and it turned out that Love was the one that did it, because she just wanted to protect her brother from this horrible woman, lady, whoever she was. Like, whatever she did, it was terrible, I guess. Candace tries to tell her side of the story, that Joe was gonna kill her because, like, she wanted to get away or whatever. He wanted to try to make it work, and she was not happy with him because he killed somebody that she knew. I think she was having an affair, and so he was trying to kill her, and I guess he thought Candace was dead, and then sort of buried her in the forest, and she eventually got away. And then she was trying to tell the cops, and they couldn't do anything about it. And so she just stayed invisible, disappeared. She stayed, how do I say, invisible until now. And she didn't really need to say anything because Joe thought she was dead. So there's the hot landlord. This is episode 6. This is the funeral for the celebrity man. Joe tries to go see Candace, and then he's tied up by the landlord, another landlord. So he tries to play it off by saying, "Oh, I was just gonna do this sexual thing with her, and where I come in, and we're doing a role playing thing, or I'm pretending to be the robber. Are you breaking up with me?" "Yes, Joe. It's me, not you." "Wait, no, that's a friend's thing." But seriously, it's Beck did this in season 1, and you know what happens right after this? So in season 1, when this happened, when Beck broke up with Joe, he runs into his black roommate, neighbor dude, lady. What am I saying? Why is it so hard to talk? Seriously, they just start making out, and Karen. Okay, so same thing sort of happened in season 2. The same kind of thing, except this time it's the landlord. And so he starts making out with the landlord, and the landlord starts to like Joe. The landlord is trying to solve the murder, and this is where they start making out. But at one point, somebody referenced Alex Jones, saying you don't want to be crazy connecting dots and stuff, even though it's true. I forget what it was, but whatever it was true. But it's they just had to throw that name in there for that. So he's like trying to help, and this is where they start making out, and I really like this girl. I do. Okay, girl, that's not gonna happen again, alright? Yeah, that's right, not gonna happen again. Are you sure about that? Are you sure? Yeah, did. That's right, it's not gonna happen again. Oh, really? That's right, it's not gonna happen again. It's not gonna, it really not. Oh, man, it's not gonna happen again. Love broke up with Joe in the last episode, so this is episode 7, and now she's with this guy who she knew a long time ago. Like, he knew her husband who died, and he's like big and strong, and he like climbed Mount Everest or something, and he was like running around those mountains in India or Nepal, and spreading the guy's ashes all over the place, and now he's back, and so he starts making out with her a little bit, and he starts running uphill, and Joe's following him, just like he was following that girl in season 1. And then he runs into Love's friend, who gives Joe a massage, a little bit of acupuncture, some intriguing conversations while he was giving Joe a massage. This is the part where they start having sex right outside of right outside of the store, and then they get arrested. Then they're having some conversations. Eventually, they were let go. Somebody was able to. I think it was Love's brother who got them out, and he's still trying to get Joe back together with Love. So he was able to get Joe out of jail because his family has a lot of money, has connections. So the landlord found out about the storage unit. He went in there. She went in there, and then Joe found out because he has a secret like a nanny cam stuck inside like a teddy bear, and so he goes to the storage unit, and then he locks her in, and he doesn't know exactly what to do, so he eventually decides he's gonna let her go, and he has a timer on what do you call it, a handcuffs. The handcuffs will um, release after about 16 hours, 15 hours, and then he was gonna disappear and like go to Mexico, and here is the daughter of the landlord. This is episode 8, I think, and this is the part where they get high on like LSD, and Joe doesn't know what happened that night while they're working on a script that's based on the book that Beck wrote. That's based on a true story of the fact that she was murdered, but it was framed. It was pinned on the what do you call it? The counselor, the shrink guy, Jesse from Full House, and he was guilty of having an affair with Beck, even though he was married. So this is a crazy episode because they have no idea what they're doing. Except her. She's okay, but Joe doesn't know what's happening, and so this is a crazy episode because he like the next day he's like trying to remember what happened last night. They have a crazy conversation, like the best phone call ever, he said, because she calls and she wants to be with him again. He's in a bathtub. He kept on feeling like there was blood on his hands, and he felt like maybe he killed somebody. He goes to his storage unit. The landlord is all bloodied up, and so I'm thinking to myself, what happened? Who did it? Who did it? It's like a game of Clue. You remember that board game? It was devastating because I like the landlord. Like I said, landlord's pretty hot. Landlord's pretty hot looking, and who am I to say anything? But I'm just very sad, very sad. So I thought about this. Like, did he do it? Did somebody else do it? Who would do it? So he's trying to solve this mystery, this murder. Episode 9 is called P.I. Joe, and he's trying to figure it out, and he's screaming at this point, trying to solve the murder and of the hot landlord girl, and it's pretty devastating. He has flashbacks of the penguin, and he was thinking, could it be the penguin guy? So he calls out the penguin guy, and hey, is the penguin home? Filipina girl? Oh yes, I'm here. I'm all right. And then he gives the penguin an analogy, like, what happens if I have a spider and I'm trying to let the spider go, but then the spider dies and I didn't do it. And then like the penguin understands exactly like the situation, and he's like, I forget what did he say. I don't think it's that important. There's Candace trying to manipulate Love's brother. Even though Candace was sent away earlier, Love found Candace sneaking into Joe's room, his apartment, and that's the part where Love sent her away with a lot of money, and thought that would shut her up, and it didn't. And Candace just came back. She's still trying to do something. She's crazy about Joe in a way, and he realized that Candace was able to lock Joe in the cage, and then like she was gonna like call the cops, but instead she just calls Love, and she has Love come so that Love can know everything that Joe has ever done, all the people that he killed. And then Love is running away. She's about to throw up. Candace comes from behind, and the craziest thing ever, what you see is Love strikes like a king cobra. GFS, like not like that, not like him, but seriously, like she just strikes right in, and now Candace is gone. Candace is dead, and she has to get rid of the body, and it's pretty devastating at this point. Episode 10 is crazy in a lot of ways, and they have a confrontation, and Joe doesn't know what to do. Joe's thinking, do I kill Love or not? Because he's still in love with Love, and Love is still in love with Joe, and they have a little bit of a back and forth, and he's thinking that she must be crazy, but maybe not, and it's very, very intriguing, very devastating stalemate that they're in, and she keeps him locked up a little bit longer, but she tries to explain her backstory and the people that she's killed, and it turned out that she's the one that killed the landlord, and she did it out of instinct in a way, because the landlord wanted to throw Joe in jail, and she didn't want to have another lover of hers die, like another soulmate die, just like her husband died, and she didn't want to go through the process all over again. And right when Joe had an opportunity to kill her, she's like, I'm pregnant with our daughter. And that was pretty surprising. But there's another surprise that comes up, and it's her brother who runs off to New York to see Jesse from Full House, the doctor, the counselor guy, who ends up uh, getting saved, wants to forgive everybody, and feels like he was a pretty bad man, anyways. So he doesn't want to help at all, I guess. 40, that's his name. I just remember. Love's brother is 40. How could I forget? 40. I'm almost 40. There is Jesse from Full House. He is the guy stuck in jail and he doesn't want to get out, even though it's like 40 is like, hey, I'm reading that book that talks about you, but I don't think you did it. I want to try to free you, and this guy's like, no, I didn't do it, but I'm a bad guy. So this part is very devastating, but also very romantic. Like, so he's like, okay, I'm in love with you, and I understand that it, like, if you don't trust me, if you don't love me anymore, Joe, like, do what you gotta do, kill me, hurt me, throw me in jail, whatever you do, do it now, like, get it over with, the kind of thing, whatever you want to do, and they have a back and forth, and she totally surrenders, and she lets him go, and she doesn't have anywhere to go except here, and he's like, actually, I love you more now. And so they end up coming back together. They go to the wedding. He looks like Clark Kent. Two girls are getting married and they're talking about raising children, but how are you going to make them? I can't remember who is Ellie. Is Ellie the landlord or the landlord's daughter? I can't remember. I think this is Ellie. And she's pretty devastated. And he's like, I'm sorry, your sister is gone, she's dead, and I'm gonna give you a lot of money. You gotta run off and start your life in Florida with Ron DeSantis or something. And good luck. And I got some passports. You can change your identity. Love's brother 40 is gonna shoot Joe, and then at the last moment, the police officer shoots him instead. Shoots 40, the police officer that was screwing the hot landlord. And that kind of ended that chapter, so to speak. He talks about becoming a father for his daughter, and he cannot wait. He talks about like being the kind of father that he never had. But you know what happens right after that? At the very end, he looks at the fence. He's not gonna see Wilson, the volleyball, or Wilson, the neighbor, your stupid neighbor. I'm Nelson, your stupid neighbor. No, not that guy either. Rah rah roo roo. Nelson, your stupid neighbor from Oatmeal, from 2000. No, not Wilson from Home Improvement. Instead, he is a girl with these books, and he's like, I'm gonna be with you. I'm gonna have an affair, and I'm gonna mess up my life, and I try to be with this lady. I guess he has no idea what she looks like, I guess, and he's gonna mess everything up. I'm not really happy about that, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not happy with my face either, so what am I going to do? I need to increase the light, but then OBS always changes the lighting. I have to go into the settings and change it, make it brighter, and then it's devastating. And I wish I can go into Joe and try to fix him, but it's like that could be a mistake too. We try to fix people, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But a lot of times you can't really do it. Not that you can't do anything at all, but like I'm sad that Candace is gone. I like Candace. I like the landlord lady. I don't like that Joe is starting a new affair for season 3, but I'm still gonna watch it, and we'll see where it takes us.